The Avaduta is saying that is, there is no knowledge and no ignorance in the experience of unity. There is no near and no far in the experience of unity. There is no time and no eternity in the experience of unity. Why cry, O mind? I am the same self in all. There is no space in a jar, nor even a jar. There is no container of the soul, nor even a soul. There is no separation between cause and effect. Why lament, why cry then, O mind? I am the same self in all. Here, in the realm of unity, everyone is eternally free. A short time and a long time have no meaning here. Here, no distinctions such as big or small exist. Why lament or cry then, O mind? I am the same self in all. Here is neither emptiness nor fullness. Here is neither purity nor impurity. Here is neither the all nor its absence. Why lament or cry then, O mind? I am the same self in all. Beautiful. There is no distinctions such as divided or undivided. There is no distinctions such as within or without. Beyond the distinctions of enemy or friend, I am the same self in all. Why cry, O mind? I am the same self in all. There is no disciple or non-disciple in the one reality. There is no one evolving and no one not evolving. Here in the state of unity, everyone is eternally free. Why cry, O mind? I am the same self in all. The self is beyond form and formlessness, is it not? It is beyond division and non-division, is it not? It is beyond creation and the absence of creation, is it not? Why cry, O mind? I am the same self in all. Let's have a look and see what now. Today. Beloved Muji, thank you, beloved Master, for taking me home. Looking for God over 60 years. I was a sort of addict of the search till a few months ago. In your loving embrace, I felt hugged by God. In my heart, this godly hug is everlasting, manifesting in a joyous dance, and also in a river of tears, expressing my longing to sit at your lotus feet. My prayer to you, thank you, beloved Master, for taking me home. Thank you for the love and the tears. You are always in my heart. Catherine from Switzerland. Very beautiful, isn't it? There's this one now. Dear Muji, I drop entirely the middleman, the ego, the person, and the mind stop talking. The thoughts still come, and the mind still try to pull my attention from the heart, and a sleeping sensation appeared in your guided meditation. But the most important, a perfect silence is inside me, peace, harmony. I am centered, simply I am. Thank you, Bogdan from Romania. That's good. Sleeping sensation often happen in meditation, in satsang also, but in guided meditations, it's very strange. Sometimes everyone is there, upright and bright, and as soon as guided meditation start, I say, okay, just pay attention to the breath. You're not the breath. So what is that? I said, so that sleeping is not the real sleeping. Sometimes it's a sort of avoidance also. It's like a mental mind state. So then I call, you are aware of this pull. Sometimes it feels like it's a pull, like a strong gravity pulling the body and the mind into sleep state. But I said, but you're witnessing this, no? And as soon as it's clear again, but you're the witness of this, you're not this, then it again changes. It's very important that we are acknowledging the fickleness of these states and don't take them too seriously. Don't write them down like this thing happened. Nothing happened naturally. You see? So don't register, oh, this thing happened, how can I stop this? And you don't need to stop anything. Just you pay attention and see. It's illusion, it's not really anything. Then you find that you don't complain so much, because the egoic identity is always complaining. Something is wrong, how to fix, how to change something, get rid of something. But the calm one, the inner being, is not complaining about anything. It is wise. Your inner being is wise, you see. The egoic identity is not wise. It's a whinger. So always complaining, oh, I never can get, maybe I'm not this and what. So this voice, you disassociate yourself from him, and he goes quiet after a while. Thank you. Dear Muji, I have followed your teaching very closely and can confirm that what you speak is true. How beautiful. I love you deeply. Thank you for pointing the way. One thing that keeps arising for me is love for an ex-partner. The relationship ended a year ago and actually served to help awaken me, so I know it was the right thing, but thoughts, memories and emotions still come up very strongly. When they arise, I am aware that they are simply seen, but they seem so intense. I wanted to hear what you have to say about this. I have tried inquiring about them when they come up, as well as just observing, but they come back constantly. Thank you for your guidance. Sometimes we are still living and holding on to certain kind of memories. Some memories are true, some not true. Sometimes memories are mixed with fantasy and preserved in the mind. And then, somehow when you're feeling low, the mind spews up these ideas. And then they're very engaging, very enticing for the attention. And then you start to feel sad because you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have finished. And, we were made for each other and something. And so the story goes on like that. Some relationships, when they finish, they snap like these biscuits, these Marias. When you snap them, finish, break. And some of them, they, like I say, they separate like pizza with hot mozzarella, It's like, So this looks like a mozzarella separation. And somehow it happens like that. Over 1 year ago, and actually served to help awaken. So I know it was the right thing. Yes. Also, this idea sometimes that you have to pay back, it's not necessarily so good. Sometimes it keeps old things where they're not needed. It's not your ex-partner nor your next partner that is responsible for bringing you there. It is the consciousness itself. Assume those forms, to do it. If you want to thank, you can thank the consciousness. You can thank the one also, but in thanking consciousness through their name or something like that, you can do it. In some relationships, when they come to an end, very intense pain come, and this pain you must embrace. When I say embrace, not embrace like you're hugging it necessarily, but welcome it to really, fully explode or implode or whatever, and go through intense feelings of shedding, intense feeling, and gradually something gets lighter. Like that come, but. Because you say, I love you deeply, thank you for pointing the way. Now point the way, but you have to follow the pointing. You see. I want to hear what you have to say about this, not very much. Just that. Stay as the awareness. Don't suppress feelings, let them come and experience them. And know in your heart that they have a place is there for them to be expressed until they properly exhaust their expression, and they come into a kind of silence again. But if we suppress, then you push some, then it comes up here. Oh my God, you push here, it comes up here. So leave them, let them happen like that. Dear Muji, the more truth I experience, the more my language tries to explain it. My mind convinces other parts of my mind that I am enlightened. I then feel as though I know too much to know nothing. If knowing nothing is true knowledge, how does one overcome the feeling of knowing? Thank you for helping. Cara Lee Coleman. The more truth I experience, the more my language tries to explain. This is the mind itself. My mind convinces other parts of my mind that I am enlightened. But something is aware which is beyond, it is out of the mind bubble. And there's an awareness of this kind of game or of this play. There's awareness of it. So you remember, that is the significant thing, that there's an awareness, and that what you're perceiving is just a sort of play. And don't go too deeply into that play. Otherwise you give it more flesh and form, and it becomes something like it's really real. I then feel as though I know too much to know nothing. You understand what he's saying? Like, I already know so much, I cannot admit I know nothing. Because my mind says, but you know so much, you cannot know nothing. You see, like that. So you have to be told what you know is nothing. Not really, you see. But it's okay, if you feel you know something, then carry on feeling you know something. That's fine. If knowing nothing is true knowledge, how does one overcome the feeling of knowing? There's nobody there to know nothing. There's no one there to know nothing. It's not a personal achievement. That there's somebody there knowing anything itself is seen that is nothing. When that is seen, then this whole thing about knowing something becomes very weak. It's not reliable, you see. It's just mostly we're talking about informational knowledge or something, or some experience. But in the deep space, this is not anything so great to write about. When you're in the egoic state, many things you feel is really juicy and important and so on. When you come out of it, you see that there's no big deal. What is that about? There's nothing at all, to make such a big noise about it. So if knowing nothing is true knowledge, how does one overcome the feeling of knowing? You see, as long as you feel that you're someone who knows something or knows nothing, you're going to be trouble. You cannot You cannot get anywhere because the very identity is always claiming something. It's trying to jump over itself, which it cannot do. You believe in yourself as a person, which for a while it can be like this, and many people still, even in spirituality, where you say people have been practicing some spiritual discipline for a while, they still have a very strong sense of themselves as a personal entity, and that may take a while to keep wearing out. Something must be wearing off, you see. Because even if you just rub your hands like this, after a while some dead cells are going to drop off. You see, if you put any friction, something will have to be changing from there. So if you're in satsang and you're looking at these things and really checking in with your thoughts, they have to be losing power. They have to be losing power. You see? Unless you're doing all of that, but inside you're preserving your identity, then this is different. You see, if you're thinking, yeah, now I am doing this, now I'm doing this, I'm doing really well, I'm becoming more quiet. I think I'm the most quiet person here, actually. This is mine, is it? One man, he came into Ruvanamalai and he said, he was very honest, in fact, in a way. He came up and he says, I've always practiced yoga and I'm very good at yoga. I'm a yoga master, I'm doing this yoga. And everything I do, I always have to be the best at it. So I want to be the best, at this thing you're talking. I want to be the best nothing. I want to be the best one at being nothing. Yeah. You were serious too. Dear Muji, I discovered your videos only a few months ago, and I'm grateful that I have the possibility to share with you a very important issue for me. I recently found that I'm very aware of what I am not. Sometimes I see my life and everything that is happening around me like a movie, but I am aware that I am not in that movie. What I am not aware of is what I am. I know I am not the person. I am not the mom, the wife or daughter. What am I then? In theory, I know but I didn't live yet that I am state. Maybe a childish question, but I realize that here and now, every second, every blink of an eye is divine and precious. I feel the need to meet myself now. I feel the need to be home again. With love, thank you, Roxana from Romania. I am aware that I am not in that movie. What I am not aware of is what I am. And what this means, I'm not aware of what I am in that would satisfy my mind. You follow this thing? You see? I'm aware what I am not. The mind is there. I know I am not this thing and I'm not this thing. But what I am, I'm not really sure if I got that. But then you have to be two things, You have to be the one who is again, I am not sure, I don't know. Where is this? Let me pick it up. What I am not aware of is what I am. I know I am not the person. I am not the mom, wife, or daughter. What am I then? So it's not like I know in that way. Wasn't it one man who say, I know nothing? Socrates? And for so many years, even now they say he's wise, such wise man. He said, I don't know anything. And he wasn't pretending that he doesn't know. He had come to a state of feeling, but there's nothing I can know. He wasn't somebody going around saying, yes, I know nothing. Look, I don't know anything. He simply was saying, I don't know. I think he was also clever though. Because then he was going around, apparently, and speaking to many young people of the day and say, you guys are studying and you are university people and so on. You know something, I don't know anything. Please demonstrate what you know to me or something. He was doing something like that. So he was a bit clever, no? And then they wanted to get him, the authorities of the time. because they say he's corrupting the young people's mind and telling them all this foolishness. I know I'm not the person. I am not the mom, the wife, or a daughter. What am I then? In theory, I know, but I didn't live yet the I am state. Are you apart from the I am? You see? All beings, they have the sense I am. You have the sense I am. But this I am, it's like a chameleon somehow, because it can be I am the person, I am the body. It can function in this state. I am this belief and identity. I am the body. It can live like this somehow. But at a more mature level, it becomes I am the awareness itself, or I am that consciousness that somehow is observing all the thing that's moving inside me. Then it's more subtle. You see, it's a higher state, a purer, simpler state, a more kind and open state. Then ultimately it says I am the absolute. Also, you can say. So when people speak like this, I ask, as what are you speaking? From what level are you speaking? When you refer to yourself, I like this, I don't believe. Who are you speaking as? As the body, as the mind, as presence, as the absolute? What is the substance of your identity? You see? And then somehow they're a bit confused like that. I didn't live that yet, the I am state. That's an idea, you see. You are the I am, but there is some confusion as to what it means. Like it is being perceived in the mind that the I am is a kind of mystical, special state. But it is really, I am is denotes consciousness or the sense of presence, that intuitive way in which we know we exist. It's not even a learning, it's just natural in us to know I exist. Nobody taught you, even your parents didn't tell you, look, you exist. It's just a natural conviction, I exist. Maybe it's a childish question, but I realize that here and now, every second, every blink of an eye is divine and precious. You can only feel this for a moment or two. After the old state, come back again, and you don't feel like that. It's not that you have to, there's somebody who has to keep thinking that every second, every blink of an eye is divine. You don't have to think this. You can't do it anyway. After a while, you go to sleep, or you get bored, or you missed a few points, and it's not anything anyone can do. But that insight opens up inside, and it creates a new inner environment, a new climate that is immersed in that understanding. There's nobody there. It takes the person out, actually. I feel the need to meet myself now. Are there two selves inside? How many inside? I want to meet myself now. Somehow it kind of feels it makes sense somewhere. I want to meet myself means I want to meet my true nature. But is it different from you? Like one is false and one is true. And right now I'm the false one. I'm trying to link up with the true one. And then what will you do? Get married or what? Or somehow, then when I meet my true self, then I will kick out the false one and I stay as the true one. It feel like this. So in Satsang, this understanding comes again to you in a very pure way. I understand what is being said, that this is being spoken from an assumed identity, that I'm this person, that, I know that you identify with the mind, identify with conditioning, and so you cannot, with that identity, confirm or believe that you're pure, because you see the mind is full of idiosyncrasies and inconsistencies. So right there you are saying, I'm not there yet, because still I make mistakes, I tell lies, I say I'm going to do something and I can't do it. So I would like to be so good that when I say I'm going to do something, I can do it. I can keep my word. But I think this is a very difficult thing to do. Impossible, actually. Because you want to be perfect as a person, and there's no perfect person. There's no perfect personality. You see. Something just has to see that the old personality trip is a bit of a lie. It's not true. You see. But something also is invested in being the person. It cannot conceive beyond the person. What can there be? The person is all I know. You see. This is the difficulty. Because you believe in the person and you think the person is all I know. I've always just been a person. If I give the person up, what's left is just blank. But when you're coming out of the person state, you realize, wow, the person state was such a tiny bubble. And there's all of this, and I'm still here. You see, this is the... But some people still don't believe. Maybe it's a trick. He wants to have my person. I tell you, nobody wants your person, actually. Give the world a break. Disappear. I told you one time, many of you, that in my town, this is something I say many times, it was such a powerful experience for me. I was riding in one of the roads on Atlantic Road. Atlantic Road, I'm coming. And as I'm coming down on my bicycle, I notice a figure walking up the road. Strange walk, you know. So he was dressed, big coat, big black coat, walking. So I'm slowing down as I come because he's talking to him and stopping, picking up things off the street. And as I'm passing, I slow down and he's saying something. And as I come next to him like this, he says, I am so worthless. Nobody want me. Not even the devil want me. I never heard anybody say like this. I said, if nobody wants you, I'm sure the devil will have you. No? Because he doesn't refuse anybody. But he said, no, I am so worthless. Nobody wants me. Not even the devil, actually. Not even the devil want me. And the funny thing is that somehow it didn't tally up together. There was this figure speaking this thing, but it was not a sadness. It was no sadness. It was like clean. It was so powerful. Then who could it be if it was not? There's not a person speaking this thing. It's him, the Avaduta. I said like this, there must be an Avaduta speak like this. Because if anybody speak, and you hear a human being speak like this, nobody wants me. God doesn't want me. Family doesn't want, country doesn't want, nobody want me. Not even Satan, usually he takes whatever's going. But he doesn't want me. It was so powerful. There was no sadness in the voice. Completely neutral. Like a casual throwaway peanut shells. Like this. I feel the need to meet myself now. I feel the need to be home again. Yes. So this calling, we all will wear the garment of this identity. Because in the very identity, you are responding to the call from the core of the universe. From the heart self is calling. Who is it calling? It is itself that is temporary, in drag as a person. God is playing like, I'm lost. This game, I am lost. I don't know where to find myself. And seducing itself through all these things. That's just one way of putting it. And then I just want to be myself. Because so far I've not been myself. I'm just being the idea out of myself. But now I am tired of this idea now. I just want to be what I am. This is what the real question is, you see. I feel I need to meet myself now. Meaning I want to stop being the non-self. I just want to be what I am, you see. then when you find what you are, it is effortless. Then you realize all your life has been effortful. You've been making effort to be something you're not. Then you got accustomed to it, you think it's real. Then when you are called by the real, you feel afraid. Oh my God, I'm going to disappear. Who but God could create a game like that? With love from Roxana, from Romania. Let's see what else is here now. Beloved Muji, I wrote to you a while back to report my discovery that all is seen from the deepest reaches of consciousness, and there is a peace and contentment that underlies all the dynamic play. This is a wonderful discovery, but it was not enough. Life has brought circumstances that pushed understanding even deeper. Through Satsang and knowing that I am in your presence always, my heart became your ashram, and there we are one. Today, emptiness came through grace. I am no longer in emptiness or going to emptiness to be. All is emptiness. There is no seeing, only emptiness looking at emptiness. I do not wish to speak of this to anyone, but felt an urge to write and share with you and the beloved Sangha. I do not know how I will go on, as all others see persons and I see only emptiness. But life will take care of this. In loving emptiness, we are one. Kathy from Florida. Even though you have seen now from this vastness within your own self, and everything is this vastness appearing in form, you see this. But if you go around saying to everything, you are the vastness like this, either they will tell you you're a bit crazy person, you see. And they may even like you. That's that crazy guy, this is what they have to say. Or this crazy person, this girl go around telling everybody they're the emptiness. And some people may find, wow, that did something in my head, wow, or something like that. But generally, there's a wisdom that grows. If you are like this going around to people telling them, you are the emptiness, you are the vastness, you are this, no? Either you are still very much immature in your own growing, in your own awareness right now, and still some refinement needs to happen. Because as something becomes more mature in your understanding, you'll find that the consciousness knows how to speak to every heart. It knows the language it knows the combination of every heart, it knows how to speak. It's not trying to demonstrate anything about itself. It's not trying to show that it is clever and high or nothing. It knows it somehow. You see? I'm not trying to demonstrate any form of spirituality. For why? The very fact that if that was done, it would be that you are still somehow trying to do something in that way. I hope you understand what I'm pointing out. Dearest Master, at the Satsang on the 26th of December, you said that the 10 Commandments were not made for pure consciousness. I am not in the state of pure consciousness, but something pushes me to the realization that although being meek and compassionate towards everyone is the main way to go, and in brackets, especially if it feels like the natural state of being, yes, it's only one wing of the bird. The other wing, which must be developed as well, is that sometimes it can be quite necessary to kick some ass. And under some circumstances, even a killing is justified. Is this understanding right? In this passage from the Bible, it quote, "But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also," in fact is misleading fallacy. Could you please speak a bit on this matter? Thank you and regards, Mike. I am not in the state of pure consciousness, but something pushes me to the realization that although being meek and compassionate towards everyone is the main way to go, especially if it feels like a natural state of being, fine. It's only one wing of the bird. The other wing, which must be developed as well, is that sometimes it can be quite necessary to kick some ass. I agree with this one too. No? You cannot be always, if you're always with the same, always same, then something is strange. Because all the different energies are going to play. Sometimes angriness, sometimes sadness, sometimes joy, sometimes this, sometimes strength. Sometimes. There's a flexibility. There's nothing to control. You're not trying to come across as being, Dalai Lama or whatever it is. You don't want to try and always, you don't, because then something is seem contrived over. I'm not saying that his action is contrived, but sometimes people feel, that's what holiness looks like, but it's not necessary. In another form, sometimes one can seem quite ruthless. You come here and start to speak, they whack you. Oh my God, he cannot be holy. Out. They say, oh my God, it's crazy. What standard will you judge? You cannot really say. But the effect of that action that may seem to be ungracious may change something in you that needed changing, and that's the very quick way to change it. Is it really like that? So I agree that sometimes some ass need kicking. Okay. And under some circumstances, even a killing is justified. Well, we're not going to talk about that right now. Is this understanding right? Yes, it can be like this. But I don't want to talk openly. Yes, sometimes it is. I don't know where you are coming from. You see? So we're not going to put some like I can make a statement that is a kind of a fact or a standard, or only a standard statement. But everything somehow has its place. In this passage from the Bible, and in quote, but I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. In fact, is a misleading fallacy. Not necessarily, because it depends on the kind of temperament you have. You see, some beings are like that. That if you attack them, like Jesus' word, if someone slaps you on the cheek, you give them the other one. Well, I don't know if you want to. What it didn't mean literally, they slap you or they finish me off on this side. No, but it means like instead of being aggressive and slap them back, you're very humble and this. That's one way. And I don't feel that even here you can grasp a master's words and then turn it into a tattoo. He's speaking in a specific situation. He may speak like that, but tomorrow he may say something different. And then the people who have got very rigid mind, they say, but yesterday you said this. I said, yes, but today I'm saying this. But where is it consistent? You see, like this. It's not a laboratory, life is not a laboratory like this. Somehow in each one, not just answering your question, sometimes answering the questioner. The questioner's being has to be pushed in this way. But to understand life in this subtlety, you have to drop the one living life and be life. When you are life, you will understand these things that you cannot say how I'm going to do. Sometimes I am asked, what would you like for breakfast tomorrow? How the hell do I know? I don't know what I want. No? But some people, they know. I'll have on Tuesday, I'll have eggs and beans. On Wednesday morning, I'll have cheese and bread. So you know this thing? Yes, I've been like this for 20 years. Oh, this is fine. Carry on. There's no problem. Huh? But I don't want to say anything about it. I think everything is fine with me, somehow. You see? When it's not in that moment, I say, hang on a second, what is this? But in the moment, Your life is in the moment, But for the world that wants to organize life, They want to know what you're going to have for breakfast on Thursday. Because Wednesday is when the eggs run out. And then we want to know what you're going to, he said like this. Then we have to conform a bit. And then that is okay too. So, okay, you know what? It's okay. You follow? I mean, you cannot just systemize. And sometimes you can. Because the one who is free, even in a very rigid system, they'll still be free. Somehow they're still free. Because you cannot cage them. It's like trying to trap space. You cannot trap it. You see? In any situation, they will always be just always free. Even in prison, they're the ones free. They're free. Hmm? So you're saying that in the Bible it says, "But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also." And close quote, in fact, is a misleading fallacy. Not necessarily. Don't put yourself as the one who can evaluate and assess things in any order. Better you just be empty. This is what I'm telling you. The one who is empty is free, universal. And the whole universe can fit into them. But the one who is very exacting, stay away from them. They will irritate the hell out of you. Because they're always insisting, but it has to be like this. I've met some of them too. Dear Muji, I'm very much appreciate your satsang on internet. At one of them I heard you say that when we identify with, for example, mother consciousness, then our next incarnation is being prepared for us. In my family there are members with addictions which result in frequent dramas played out. There are times when, by the grace of God, I am free in it, but times when I feel not free. Would you please say something about this, as I really do not wish to continue to be bound to living in not fully understanding this. Thank you so much, Sandra. In my family there are members with addiction. Okay, let's go back to the earlier part. At one satsang I say that when we identify with, for example, mother consciousness, then our next incarnation is being prepared for us. It's not so quite like that. I say that yes, in true, if you don't identify, if I can say this and it can be heard, it will be very beautiful. You don't have to identify. You have a male body, female body. Okay, it's fine. Okay, fine. But there must be a place where you are free of this identity. Otherwise, you are simply stuck in one channel. I'm not saying that if you're a man, you should think I'm a woman. I'm not saying this. But I'm just saying that you don't have to hold on to any definition so much. And you find that you are the full space of consciousness is here. It's so loving to be free from this insistence of having life report to your form of consciousness. And anyway, it's okay. In my family there are members with addictions which result in frequent dramas played out. There are times when by the grace of God I'm free in it, but times when I do not feel free. Yes, naturally. Would you please say something about this, as I really do not wish to continue to be bound to living in not fully understanding this. You need not be bound. Again, like I say, satsang is the universal remedy, I feel, for everything. Because it establishes your mind again in its original place, in original being. And you don't need any saved up knowledge about life when you are alive. In the moment, you just know, you come to know. Or you don't know, then you don't know. But you are fine in any situation. You see? But our conditioning, education, tells us, but you need to know. You need to know what you will do. And this is a nonsense thing. They poison the life. You have to need to know so much. And sometimes, sometimes it's time to leave home too. To open to the possibility that maybe that could be coming soon. Not have to force it, but don't insist. I have to this and I have to. Just be the self, be in the self, and you'll find a space there that the world does not offer you. Be in the self, and you'll find right there in your heart a space that nothing in the world can give you. Then some things, you're not just looking at the life with just human eyes, you see? Because with the human eyes, you always see some things you cannot do, and then you stop there and, okay, I'll try this other thing then. But when you're not looking in this way, in this limitation, sometimes you look and you say, well, I don't see now. But rather than go here, something feels to keep quiet. Keep quiet with it. And by itself, some illumination comes inside the mind. And you find a way or something happened that was completely unplanned for. And it really releases all this toxicity. Dear Muji, first thank you for the people you help. The people you help. Firstly, I'm quite new to knowing your work. This is quite a new road I've taken, always looking for doctor and medicine to help me. Please forgive my ignorance. My personality have anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder. That's a lot. My personality have anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder. For a time, I believe I was fear, my thoughts and my beliefs. Since seeing your video, throw everything away. I now see actually there is more to me at times. I get so scared I have hallucinations. I have tried telling, be my true self. Then fear comes and take over with memories which play as hallucination. I have really been on a roller coaster. Please can you give me some advice, Kara? Say bless you with whatever will bring clarity and peace and a clearer direction to your search, and to bring you again into the heart's energy field, and that you don't waste time chasing the wind in this way. So may that clarity start us from this moment to become more open to you, more clear, more light, and trust this thing. Carl. I don't feel this one right now. Difficult to feel these letters so much. Try come back to that one. Dear Muji, there's much freedom and peace now. There's a clarity of mind and much less misunderstanding. It is true that there are forces that move life in such beautiful, sometimes painful, but mostly beautiful way. I am here fully. There is no past nor future. I can't come to say that I'm totally free, but I don't have a sense of being bound. There is a love and a joy for life. Many things have fallen away, but some things stayed. I wish I could change or transcend them, but it seems that these efforts are powerless and usually coming from arrogance. I find that those habits keep driving me inward anyway. When I hear you speak, I feel the whole universe is so simple. Your voice brings comfort and contentment in my heart. Your presence is a fire that burns everything I see. You radiate truth in my being. Thank you always repeating your word so that it may fully bring me to a state of rest. And thank you, Sangha, for all the work you do to share this truth and presence. I love you, Adrian. Dearest Muji, it shines very brightly what was seemingly hidden from the last piece of nothing. There is no questions left, nor questioner. Through your grace, I am the experience, the experiencer, the witness and the awareness that everything is what is and where nothing ever happens. I am that. There are no fitting words. Now I know no longer others. I am you and you are me. Everything is in place and I am so highly grateful. I saw you last Easter in London, shared one space in your holy presence, and now 3,000 miles away, I feel your unending grace alone. This alone is. I am your heart, timeless. Love, Jorg. J-O-R-G? Jorg. Very nice. And dear Muji, I've been following your satsangs for many years. At the recent Russian satsang, I felt my heart open and I fell in love with you and all the Russian people. I cried throughout both satsangs. Since then, I have been unwell with a heart rhythm condition which consumes my time and attention. I am not aware of any burning off or loss of the self since the satsangs. I bought a ticket for the Battersea satsang in November, but was not able to make it due to my heart condition. In bracket, is this a trick of ego mind? But watched on the internet. It will be very difficult now to travel to one of your satsangs elsewhere. How do I discover, Muji, my true self? And lose what I am not without coming to a satsang to be in your presence and receive grace, which I feel I need to do. Thank you. Namaste, Diane Chandler. I would say to anybody, because we broadcast these satsangs, and it has been really uplifting thing, because many people are writing and are experiencing awakenings and profound shifts in their perspective, and so much delusions falling away from them. Because somehow their attention is responding, you're responding to through internet. The spirit use internet also. And people are seeing and feeling and corresponding to what is being pointed. So this is also just as available for you like that. So don't feel that maybe for the moment we are not able to come and see or sit together, like this. And I don't even want to say that's not going to happen. We don't know like that. We're not living in a logical universe, This is a mysterious, magical, tremendous, magnificent life and consciousness. Don't lock it off and say what you believe, what you don't believe. What is that? That's nonsense. Stay empty. Why say, I don't believe, I don't? Who are you? One little bubble in the infinite ocean. I don't believe in the infinite. So it's better you don't say anything and like that. But like this one has written something beautiful, no? They could not make it to the thing because of heart condition or something, but watch it on the internet. How do I discover my true self, Muji, and lose what I am not lose what I am not without coming to Satsang? You will lose it, but you're not. The light of your own Satsang is already exposing what is not real. And here, how beautiful, when you discover what is not real, you don't have to go and take it to the place where you put all the unreal selves. You just stay as yourself. And the life takes it away, the old one. You see? Everything is done for you. So if you say, and lose what I am not, how do I discover my true self and lose what I am not without coming to Satsang? You will lose it right there where you're sitting. You're sitting in your house. Sometimes you have a family next door making lots of noise and other people doing things, having a fight next door, but you're sitting inside having your Satsang. You're in the heart of the whole universe. Don't doubt, oh, I have to be physically present. It's nice. It's also a very powerful thing. But if you can't, then somehow the universe makes up for it. Give you extra dose. And these things have happened. Dear Muji, I've been in silence most of the time since May retreat in Zimar. Here is stillness, quietness beyond words. It's pretty empty within. A heavy feeling that everything is meaningless comes and goes. And is there any advice from you? Everything is meaningless. You don't have to even think about this. Everything is meaningless. Maybe this wave comes a little bit of feeling sometime, but it doesn't make sense, anything. But don't crystallize it and, oh no, everything is meaningless, and don't give it to the mind. You see. It's better you say things are not what they often appear to be. You see. Little to say, almost no problems, no goals, no desires. But the experience of being alone, no matter if together with others or not. It's like being no one, not being alive, and still I am. Are there any advice from you about this aloneness? Thank you, Muji. Namaste, Michael. This aloneness. There's also an unequal joy. Don't let the mind give you aloneness. I'm alone. It doesn't matter. You're not alone anymore as a person. You're alone as everything. You can be alone as a person. You say, oh my God, it's Christmas. My whole town is celebrating, but nobody wants me. I don't have nobody. Then the mind, oh my God, what am I going to do? You see, it builds upon this. Make you miserable. I remember one Christmas in London, because I've not spent many Christmas in London for quite a few years. But one time I found myself in London. Even this time, I didn't know what was Christmas exactly. It caught up on me, And this day, it was Christmas. And nobody knew I was in London. I was in London. I was in my little apartment. Nobody knew where I am on this day. Then I hear all the singing, jingle bells, you say, look at that, jingle bells, and then people drinking and laughing, and in the night, fireworks, poof, 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 poof. And I closed my window, my curtain, turned off all electricity, turned off everything, and just alone inside this apartment, just with a little bit of light from the street lamp outside, and took the phone off the hook. I said, I was very happy. I was very happy. I said, oh, it's just so sweet, so sweet, so sweet, this happiness. I'm remembering when I hear you say, Yes. Little to say, almost no problems, no goals, no desires, but the experience of being alone, no matter if together with others or not. I don't know if I will call it that. Sometimes you're with many people, but it's like you're cocooned in this presence. It's a very delicious feeling, though. But if you start to feel, oh, I want to have a partner, then you feel very lonely. So, my God, look at those guys kissing. Oh, my gosh. I have not one of those for many years, my God. You see, then you start to feel all lonely. Oh, what am I going to do? You see? One friend, he was coming to see me and he said like that, everything is fine. Everything is fine for me. Just the only thing missing, I want a girlfriend. I said, really? I said, but you can be very happy also without one for the moment. Maybe one will come. He said, no. I just feel desperate. I feel alone. I don't have anybody in the night. I don't like to go into bed on my own and this type of thing. I said, really? So okay. And then after some few months, he called me, Muji. I got one. I got one. I want to introduce her to you, and can we come for dinner? And okay, yes, okay, you can come. So then he came with this this girl, and we had dinner, and they were quite nice. I see them all very much caught into each other's eyes and stuff. So okay, what you come here for anyway? Anyhow, shortly after this, he was calling. I said, "How are you doing?" I won't use his name because he still comes sometimes. He said, it's difficult. What has happened? What happened? Oh, she doesn't like me to go out and do things. I'm just so fed up. I want to, I said, okay. Can't help you there, mate. Yeah. So it's like being no one, not being alive. This is not true. When you can be on your own and be fully alive, and then when you're in a relationship, oh, it's beautiful. Then they say, okay, I'm leaving you. I say, okay. Because your memory is not the last time I was on my own. I'm going to be on my own again. No, it's on my own I was very happy as well. And with you, I'm also very happy. Like that. It's like being no one, not being alive, and still I am. It's much nicer than that. Is there any advice from you about this aloneness? Relish it. Enjoy. Even when you're in a relationship, experience your aloneness also. It's so beautiful, and it feeds everything you do. It's somehow invigorated by this beautiful space of yourself. You may change the title. It's not called aloneness anymore. It's not aloneness. Hi Muji, greetings. I followed your satsang on YouTube. I have a very serious question for you. How can we know what is truth? From all sides, they bombard us with some new age spirituality. Honestly, I don't trust anyone, and I realize that we must find truth for ourselves. You probably heard about Eckhart Tolle. He's talking about spirituality like you, about present moment, sorrows, etc. His books are sold in million copies. He was even guest in Oprah show. Isn't that suspicious? Why is it suspicious? And now we are asking ourselves, why are all these so-called spiritual people so much famous? Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, Osho, Rajneesh. To me, all that is suspicious. If we get free, we are becoming threatened by society, in brackets, my opinion. I think truth should be hidden from society, especially to people who rule this planet. Then we ask ourselves, how can we know who is talking the truth? Why are these so-called spiritual people that famous? Also, New Age sects propagate spirituality, kundalini, present moment, chakras. All that informations on spirituality, different spiritual people make you little dizzy. I would appreciate your answer. Wish you all the best. No name. Now we must ask ourselves why these so-called spiritual people are so famous. But why? What's the problem, is it? Maybe they can be famous because they are helping many, many people. And people hear about them, they pass them on to these. Of course, in the olden times, maybe there was not Facebook and things like that. So people's, opinions didn't spread so fast or something like that. Now, press of a button, the whole world can know your business like that. And so maybe it seems like this, people, did you read about this? And maybe it is too much of that too, but let everything be. Let everything be. Let everything be what they want to be. Let everything be. How did you come to hear about them yourself? You must be surfing as well, no? So, to me, all that is suspicious. If we get free, we are becoming threatened from society, in my opinion. I think truth should be hidden from society, especially to people who rule this planet. People who rule this planet are not interested so much in truth. Not in that. Maybe it's in some material, what they call is true, something they're finding out. And maybe like this, I don't know. But I think truth should be hidden from society. In the olden times, it was not so easy to find these teachings, in fact. And not so long ago also. It was not so long ago. I remember also many years ago, you're decorating your apartment and you see something you want to find out. How did they do these things? How did they make these walls look like marble and things like that? No? And then suddenly the internet come and people start to show how they do these things, and then suddenly everybody who could do something want to show how they do it. Then everything opened up, because then they saw they could be famous showing their tricks, because before they keep everything tight. But then somebody else was showing and said, oh no, well I have something to show as well, and this. And so now everything is there. You can press anything on Google. God, picture of God comes or something. So, I don't know. It is consciousness doing everything. This should be your attitude. The human being is not the operators of consciousness. We are ourselves the expression of consciousness. Consciousness is the bigger guy. The human being is only the expression of the consciousness. We are not the manipulators of consciousness, in a sense, you see. So if you see that it's all the play of life, life is playing like this, then it diffuses all your acidity, all your negativity and all this blame and duality. Softens it up. You accept, it's just somehow it's like this, what you can do about it. And then your heart finds peace, and then you start to find that somehow you start to love the world in the proper way, without addiction. You feel, it's all my brothers and sisters. You start like that. It is amazing. Then we ask ourselves, how can we know who is talking the truth? Not like that. If truth cannot just be talk. Truth cannot just be talk. Many people writing books and like this, maybe they don't have the full experience, but they write and other people benefit from their writing. But it's not just, truth is not talk. It's not words, it's not concepts. You see. So you cannot just know like that. There's no such thing as somebody just speaking the truth and you get the truth and you got it all, got the truth. Why are these so-called spiritual people that famous? Why you have trouble with fame now? And maybe you want to be famous? Also, New Age sect propagates spirituality, Kundalini, present moment chakras. All that information is on spirituality. Different people, spiritual people make you a little dizzy. I would appreciate your answer. I would not worry about all those things. Consciousness is playing all these different roles. It's a one-man band playing all these different roles and somehow itself working through its own playground to find the one thing that is unchanging. If you like this, you become much more kind, and then you don't have this struggle with the world and what's happening and right, that. Then you enjoy somehow. Don't worry so much about these things. Even from a bad guru, some people can find their way. So there. Dear Muji, I love me, we, the essence and presence that I am inner and interrelated to in all ways, always, and omnipresent nectar of beauty in the stillness of creation is this that we are made of eternally. What holds me back is my attachment to violent memories. I have been raped and tortured more times than I care to remember. Please help me with this, because knowing that I am not my body, mind, emotions is not fully realized, or I would not keep grieving and rape and abuse still happening to me whenever I go into the world. I'm in a prison of my own home. I want for nothing except to be Muji too and never be apart from my beloved. The longing to be free is a fire, while the water tears of grief in this separation have become the rivers and oceans of existence. Please help me to remove the stone of rape. With gratitude for who you are, love. Please don't mention the name. Okay, I won't. What I would say to anybody, whatever your life has been, whatever expressions you've been through, it is tailor-made for your awakening. I have to say like that. Whatever, don't think we all come here to have a nice, sweet life and cruel, and then when you're ready, then you just knock on the door, punch the phone, God, I'm ready for you, come in. It's not going to be like that. Everybody's life, some people, don't compare your life with anybody. Doesn't work. Your life is a unique stream, you see. And if you pay attention to yourself, you will see that this life is, even with this hardship, is a blessed thing that helped me in this way to realize the truth in this life stream. Then you'll be grateful somehow. And you'll turn things around. You see. Don't be looking at what's on someone else's plate. In your life, you pay attention. Why am I here? What is this? Who is living this life here? Why did these things happen to me? How did they happen to me? Whatever. Something is going to speak to you in this life. You see. Because no one is so remote that they are missed their chance. Not at all. Some great sages, saints, and their life story can be terrible in the background. Even some of them did very many bad things even. You say, oh, this one wouldn't stand a chance. And they are now full of light and love. You don't count anybody's life off, you see, because it's miraculous, like that. You have very painful things in your life, you're going to use those pain somehow. They will one day become part of your support system for finding somehow empathy with other beings, you see. But I know this thing. I also had this similar experience. You're not going to go through this life with just chocolate flavored experiences and come out as a giant of understanding. You see? Because look at the Buddha also. He grew up as a prince, very much protected in his life. No? They say that they even didn't want him to see sickness and old age and old people. They didn't want to see. They wanted him to see all beautiful. But life still find a way. In fact, there was nothing opposing life. It was life that gave him that life in the beginning and then changed course again and took him out on the street where he went and said, my God, where does all these sick people come from? Where's all these people look so sorrowful? And then he had to find, through his life also, what is the real, what is the truth. And we have to find every life is God's life. And in that vein, in that your way, whatever your river has been, your consciousness has survived that river and you're going to use it now to blossom into complete awakening. Don't feel that you had a raw deal. You had a good deal. Even if it's painful. It's not easy to see that. And the more you believe in a person, the more you will fight these things and say, no, I hate the God. He gave me, look at the life he gave me. I said, okay, you carry on. I don't feel sorry for people so much. I feel touched by things I see. Like I say, acts of kindness and openness, selflessness. These things I am touched by. Evil don't touch me so much. But, some see people triumph over difficulties and who can forgive and be open-hearted and to, who are quick to forgive and to move into, to bring the consciousness and the mind into the safe waters. This is beautiful. See that happening. Dear Muji, firstly, thank you for being. I am not so well up to the correct lingo, but I will talk from the heart. I is actually spelled I as in I, like this. Was so happy till yesterday, but today my mind came with a subversive ninja attack. It brought up every secret weapon to make me feel bad. It scooped the smelly pus out of all my mental scabs and threw them at me all at once. I felt overcome and astonished as it was so sudden and my life seemed to go topsy-turvy. It lasted a few hours and then I came back to stillness. I did not fight it, but simply recognized it and let it have its time. It has now subsided and I feel serene again and at one in the now, at one mint. It was like a surprise attack. My question is, will these outbursts continue to happen like mental residue? P.S. I is the eye that sees what the eye sees. Thank you for your complete heart, Nigel from Germany. Will these outbursts continue to happen? They may. Some things will come from time to time. But their outburst does not mean your collapse or nothing. You will again use these things. Sometimes very strong waves, you see, of mind attack may seem to come. But more and more you will see that there's a stability and a silence and a space inside that is untouched. You cannot imagine the greatness of that contrast of perspective. That one time you feel crippling and pain, at the same time nothing. The pain is in the body like somebody is wringing your intestines. But inside the inside of that, there's pure serenity and peace. Sometimes these things happen to show you that you are unaffected, that you are the untouched one. You see? So I am very happy actually for what's happening with you, Nigel. You see? Because you say, look, something's last few hours I came back to stillness. I did not fight it, but simply recognized it and let it have its time. Isn't it beautiful? Something wants to shout, "Ah!" Let it shout and have its time. Why not? It doesn't mean that you have to shut off and then you have to shut down. And no, somehow it's like this. I think it's very intelligent and very wise. Dear Muji, I'm grateful for your presence and deep silence felt in my being, like a reminder of really who I am. I would like to ask you a question about avoidance and action. There is a knowing in my heart of things in my life that don't resonate fully anymore, like home, job, and relationship. They are okay, but there is resistance and feeling stuck. Then there is one who wants to change, as I feel that I'm hiding in the comfortable instead of moving on to fully living life. Somehow, I feel I'm using self-inquiry to keep me there. I keep looking inside, observing the resistance and being stuck, and I end up not changing. My question is, how much to accept what is already, as all is good, and only move with the attention inside to whom feels and thinks these thoughts and feelings, and when to be able to say no to what doesn't resonate fully and actually take action and change. Thank you so much. With love, Maria from Portugal. This one, you see, you cannot know these things ahead of time. And you don't need to. What I'm showing you is a much higher way than that. You don't need any technique. You don't need any technique. You ask, when should I do this and when should I do that? How do I know when to do this? This is the classical way of ignorance posing as knowledge. You don't need to know that. You just stay in your heart, stay centered. And the mind says, look, you're doing nothing. Look, it's coming, it's going to hit you, it's going to hit you, it's going to hit you. Move out the way, move out the way. But something feels inside, no, it's okay. And suddenly, it's gone. You see? But because inside the heart says it's fine, and you're listening to your heart more than the mind, then you start, as soon as you survive this thing, you start to say, but my word, look at that. How many times my mind has been sort of whipping up this excited states, and I've always listened to it. Now I just need to pay attention, just be myself. And he says, what will you do next time? No, I don't know. I'm not thinking about next time. I am here. Why should I be thinking about next time and spoil this beautiful moment? There is no next time. Let next time be next time. I don't mind. It's so beautiful, you see. Then there is one who wants to change, as I feel I'm hiding in the comfortable instead of moving on to fully living life. Somehow I feel I am using self-inquiry to keep me there. I keep looking inside, observing the resistance and being stuck, and end up not changing. You see, I'm not falling for all these different things. Just you recognize and be one with the awareness itself. It may seem very like oversimplistic advice, even maybe a naive advice. How can you say to someone like, just stay as yourself? But it seems so passive. Surely, I should get up and do something. I don't know. There's a time when there's the right time to do something and sometimes not. I can't tell you like this. Be the self. When you be the self doesn't say don't do anything. It says just be the self. You don't know how you're going to be. This is freedom. This is fresh. How are you going to know how to be? If I write a speech to speak out on Wednesday, and now it's Sunday. I have not even met my audience, but I'm already deciding what I'm going to tell them. How it can be something. So no wonder when he started to speak like that, you sound stupid and dead. And then we are going to do it. And people looking, what is he talking about? You know, he hasn't even said hello. You're already so caught in your, and we are all living our speeches. We're all living our speeches, what I'm going to do, then on this, I'm going to do this. So you're not in sync with life at all, you see. So this is, please look at this advice I'm saying, just stay as yourself. We have not cultivated an approach, an attitude to life where anyone encourage you to do this. The most simple, the most profound. Everyone is acting prematurely because of the mind. Because the mind makes you feel afraid. If you don't act now, it's going to go terribly wrong. You're not going to be able to rescue this situation. And everyone acts prematurely. No wonder we have no faith in life. Because no one has faith in life. They tell you, no, you're leaving it too late. You're leaving it too late. Like, oh, I better act. So you're always acting prematurely. And you learn to be quiet. Something is helping from the inside now. I said, no, I don't feel panicked about it. I don't feel panicked about it. Slowly you see, wow. Oh, look how the thing is unfolding by itself. I would have missed this. You see? I would have missed all of this. Look at the thing when life is doing it by itself. Before is my mind is doing. And so this is why I miss that life is magical. Nobody sees life as magical. You want to see some magic, you have to go and watch some Hollywood movie, the special effects. But you don't see the beauty or the magic of the existence that is here, the blood flowing in your veins, everything like that. I don't know. I'm going to read one more because there's too many letters here. I don't know. So I see one with a star on it. I think somebody asked about something. Oh my gosh, the big one. Om Namaste, dear Muji. I discovered your videos on YouTube about a month ago and have started a daily practice of viewing as many as time allows. I have been having extreme emotional stuff in the last 2 years. I came upon a video where you spoke of a 3-hour practice where you repeat I am for 3 hours straight. It was not really like that. Just say I am. It wasn't really like that. I said first you will be aware of the I am, just of the sense I am, and just be one with the I am, and don't let it connect with other concepts. You see? And in the beginning it feels like the most difficult thing to do. Like so many thoughts come as friends. Hey guys, come let's go play. And you say, no, I want to stay as the I am. Like this. But gradually something settles down because we have not really consciously been guided to be self-aware. You've been practicing to be aware of objects all the time. Awareness goes to object. It goes to time, it goes to past, goes to imagination, goes to memory, goes to future, but never stays with itself. You see, you know how costly that is? That you're always being pulled about by some thought running down the street. Like a young child, you know, trying to being pulled around by a big dog. Like that. So here it says just to be aware of the natural sense in you, the feeling of being. And just enjoy, be with it. But don't let it go and tie itself up in relationship with any other thought or feeling or intention. Just stay with the feeling I am. And then, then you realize, oh my gosh, like something is preventing the I am from just being I am. Something is always engaging the sense of being into the sense of becoming. You are the being, but the mind is always wanting to become something. And you have not consciously tried just to be aware of just the being. So in the beginning it feels like, oh my God, it's impossible. But you stay with it and gradually some power stays with you. As soon as the I am can stay only as I am, something miraculous is going to come. But even if you don't quite understanding in the beginning, you will see what happens. Something will happen. So this is it. So I first came upon a video where you spoke of a 3-hour practice where you repeat I am for 3 hours straight. I thought about this video for many days and could not get it out of my mind, and then this past Sunday at 8:30 a.m. I started repeating I am. I began laying down and was doing very well for the first 45 minutes. Thoughts came but were easily swept away and had no grip on me. Then the thoughts became much more intense and were thick and deep and unending. I felt like I was being attacked by my ego mind. My stomach became knotted and the room was spinning, but I kept pushing through and repeating I am. Even just this thing is the thoughts were so thick and swirling that they became a thick, heavy blur. Then I was on my feet as if I was lifted up. I looked at the clock and it was 11 a.m. I felt dizzy and had to sit down and then began to weep uncontrollably, and was then on my feet weeping and pacing the room with arms outstretched and hands clenching and unclenching as the ego mind held on. And I then had the thought, okay, give me the best shot. And it became more intense, like the ego mind was doing its very best and self-destructing at the same time, losing its grip. This continued the whole last half hour, and I finished sitting in my chair and took the deepest breath in and out that I'd taken in a very long time. As I breathed out, I could feel the stuff leaving in chunks of negative thoughts bundled with thick emotions. So much baggage leaving in one long out breath. I then opened my eyes and the room was filled with light and my mind was empty. And I just felt a vast space with love and eternal light. David Reinbold. Isn't it beautiful? Even with this, just holding I am, just being confront I am, like that. The mind, you see, the devil mind, he's going to tear up the house. Everything that every judgment, every fear that you have felt, he's going to bring. And he's going to bring his cousins and his cousins' friends, and they're going to come in, they're trying to wreck your house to stop you from entering nirvana. And we are living with this energy all the time, day to day. But because you don't have a powerful aspiration for freedom, he doesn't have to do anything to you. They belong to me, don't worry. Just every now and again, you will look, and yes, and get back in line, or get back in line, you're fine. You see? The mind is the biggest mafia. And he's not going to let anybody go free without a fight. So he had to fight, you see. Now I'm going to stay as the I am. Are you? Yes. Fight. You just hold on to this I am. Think everything is going, okay. Now he's not asking, okay. Some people say, okay, please mind. Okay, enough. I will behave. Bad move. He's saying, no, throw your best punch. Throw it. I can take it. You see? And then what happened? He said here, give me your best shot. And it became more intense, like the ego mind was doing its very best and deconstructing at the same time. He's fighting everything. He's falling to bits, but he's fighting. Why? Because you're simply holding on to the sense. You're not fighting him. You're just holding your ground. He's trying everything to distract you. You see? But you stay on like a wild, like trying to ride a wild horse. He's trying to do everything to throw you off. But you just hold him. Stay. Don't panic. Just hold on. Tighten your legs around him. Hold him. Like this. And look what happened now. It was losing its grip. And this continued the whole last half hour. And I finished sitting in my chair and took the deepest breath in and out that I'd taken for a very long time. Because the ego can stop you from breathing. You breathe shallow. But now something, look at that. As I breathe out, I could feel stuff leaving in chunks of negative thoughts bundled with thick emotion. Yeah. All that garbage coming out. So much baggage leaving in one long out breath. It went out. I then opened my eyes and the room was filled with light and my mind was empty. And I just felt a vast space. This vast space is there all the time. But the clutter in front, it like eclipses it. And our attention is going with always looking at clutter, dealing with clutter. So you don't feel your space, you see. So you have to take on the mind. He says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit for 3 hours. Yeah, I'm going to stay only with the I am. Not the I want to be, but the I am. And look how much trouble comes. 3 hours. That's very good. I like that letter. Namaste Muji. A few years ago, I visited my master in India, the abode of peace. It felt like the delete button was pushed, as I call it. I returned home and felt drunk for a few months. My daughter asked me to visit a special doctor. He told us that I was in perfect balance. Later, I dreamed I was in the arms of my master and experienced earthly life, and I dreamed at the same time that I was watching this scene as a witness, and not for being interesting or complicated. There was also a kind of witnessing the witness. I know there was this position, but I can't qualify with the mind. Is it possible to go there? Can it be the intention to be aware of this state? Is it like writing on water? I can't imagine, nor the mind. Please shine a light. I had a serious heart attack recently, and even before I wanted to ask. Often you speak about the heart, for example, from the mind to the heart. In common, the heart is often seen as the center of feelings in a way, the singer-songwriter heart. I wanted to ask you if you could tell us more precise what is meant by the heart in the spiritual way. Thank you so much for the brightness in words and presence. With love, Eugene from Holland. Usually when people say something like, I really feel it in my heart, I feel it in the heart, they're often referring to the heart as a kind of emotional center, a center of deep feeling and so on. Sometimes center for intuition and all of this. But when I speak about the heart, I'm not talking merely about the feelings. I'm talking the core of our being. Before the becoming, even. You see, that purity that's there. And even during the beginnings and the durations and the endings, it remains always the same constant. You see, it is really what we are. When I see you, this is what I see. When I see you, this is what I see and know. But when you speak, you seem to speak from another level of identity. Like this. I said, but you don't have to stay on this level, you know. You can back up, back in to here. And then you will see that, yes, the other levels can be functioning fine. But now you are beyond even those levels now. You see. The more and more people here are falling into that space much more naturally now. and getting more accustomed to it, to being in the space of total effortlessness, where you be in no mind, no doubt, no mind. You see. The senses are still functioning, your abilities are still there, but the person for whom they seem to be working for is one is going. Yeah. I'm going to leave the rest of these now for now because there's quite a lot here. I think like 30 or something letters here or something. Unless you want to choose one more. No, okay. One more? Choose one. Somebody choose one. Take some for yourself. Take one out and you can do. Okay, that's okay. That's all right. This one. Hello, my friends. As I sit here watching the car lot through the windscreen of a new VW, regardless of how empty perception has become, there is still an awareness of perception. Even though I really realize that this is all there is in this moment, there is still an awareness of this immediacy. I know also that this off is simply part of all there is. That's the Tao. The experience of separation, subjectivity, is only a concept, but it's a very close or close to what concept. If I continue to simply accept or trust this focal point of subjectivity, experience, in bracket, noticing how it rises effortlessly and impersonally, will it eventually just fade from neglect? All of life is beautiful to me, but I would very much like to drop the illusory center. That's good. I don't feel like any more spiritual knowledge is required to untangle the knot. I no longer suffer psychologically. All emotions are seen as thoughts are, like chirps of birds and the smell of roses. So are the last acts of the person simply to continue trusting in this immediacy, even if the ever-present now includes belief in separation and subjectivity. There appears to be a truth sprouting in me on a deeper level than my conscious attention, creating this wonderful friction. Thank you, David. There is a truth. There appears to be a truth sprouting in me on a deeper level than my conscious attention. This is good enough. Ordinarily, where the attention goes, we are calling that's our experience. Attention is one of our great powers, along with the power to identify and to believe. Attention is one of our powerful root powers, but is not our essential being. Something is aware of even attention, you see, and it's not affected by attention. It's aware of belief and identity, and it's not affected by those. You see? Nothing can control it. It is the natural self. If you come to this, I don't have to read and go through the rest. That's my point, you see. I can go through all these things and say, okay, this part, and it's quite a complexly put letter in some way, David. But if I read the bottom line and I see there appears to be a truth sprouting in me on a deeper level than my conscious attention, creating this wonderful friction. Even wonderful friction is seen. This is by what is it seen now? Don't become obsessed with the question like there's a verbal answer that I'm wanting. Yes? Just trying to understand the question, my question, you see. That which is watching, you see. All this you speak about is watched. Where is the watcher? Who is the watcher of it? Just this. I leave everything else. I go to this. Because everything you say here will become clear in what I'm asking you there. Whatever you see, whatever you think, imagine, remember, these are movements in the great self. But the self, the pure essence being, is not at all interested in any of that, because none of it can touch it. You see, in fact, this is all to do with the dream of relativity. But relativity somehow collapses into a total unicity in the light of the unveiling truth, the unveiled truth. You see, so if you understand this thing, you already said something. There appears to be a truth sprouting in me on a deeper level than my conscious attention, creating this wonderful friction. What is this wonderful friction? The dance of existence. You see? That truth that is sprouting in you. It just cannot be found and owned. It cannot be found and owned. The finder vanishes in it in the most beautiful way. But it doesn't vanish. It replaces the seeker. But it is not different from you. The seeker was just a bait. The seeker was just a bait to draw the attention, to merge it back in the heart. It's just a bait. Very good. If you are left with the feeling of emptiness, like an inner space, sometimes the emptiness can feel like a little tension because we're not accustomed to it. It feels like maybe the mind says you're lost. Your reference points have moved. Where are they? Anybody seen my edge? Where's my edge? Where's my nice boundary? I can't find anywhere. You feel a bit tense. My God, am I making a mistake here? Get used to this feeling. Sometimes a person kind of comes back in the sense, but it's just a sense. Enjoy the sense, is okay. The true being didn't come from anywhere else to be here. It's here. It's here. It's just that the false one is somehow moving out of the from front, and somehow it appears like it's moving in front. It's not moving in at all. It's always there.
Looks like you have a tail.
Yes, yes. One time I was sitting like that in Satsang, and just like I always see the cat come and walk inside like this, eh? Sri Bhagwan was here, and Papaji, and I don't remember who else was there, and they all came and walked inside me. They just came inside, sit down. It was a very nice feeling in the room inside there. This cat reminded me of that. Walk right inside, leave the tail out. some feelings that you will get in the beginning feels like some resistance come, but these very same feelings, you are going to relish them at some point. Some people, they feel like their life go on fire, and they're burning, burning up, burning up. But at a certain point, they love this feeling, being on fire. Yeah? Because they see that something is not burning and something is burning. Yeah? But something is untouched by this fire. You see? But it produces a very beautiful inner feeling. And still sometimes pain is there. Some pain. But right there is a deep joy. How you can explain these things. Very good. Who is from Lisbon? They're gone? Oh, okay. Okay.
activated?